the mic aside. Yeah, I think the battery needed to be charged. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today for our Sunday service. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming and bringing your dad and everybody else for here. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for being here. Earlier I mentioned today is the 48th year since my parents first arrived in Wahiawa. So, omedetou gozaimasu. Omedetou gozaimasu. I always remember the story my dad said. When he, the first thing he did when he arrived here was all the lights were off. So the first thing he remembers doing is switching on all the lights of the Goshinzen and giving a prayer to Kami-sama and saying arigatou gozaimasu, thank you. And he's been continuing that konnichiwa mare arigatou, thank you, until this very day. Every single day until his 48th year. So I continue to pray that their arigatou will continue in good health and happiness. So today I would like to share, well, you know, when we read a prayer book, we read the teaching, not the teaching, but a verse that says, Kami works in mysterious and wondrous ways. And I want to share what happened really recently. Just recently, we're asked to watch a pair of mejiro, and from a friend who was traveling. And these two mejiro are the white eyes, by the way. So you know the little green birds, the really cute ones that you see flying around. And my friend, she texted me a photo of two baby mejiro a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, because she found them on a walking path when she was walking with her friends. And she said, Edna, can you take care of these two baby birds? And I was like, we have done that before. Like I've taken care of baby birds that fell from the nest many times, and they always end up running away or getting eaten by the cat or something. So I said, why don't you try being bird mommy this time? So she did, and she's been taking care of these two birds for the longest time, with such love and care. And when she goes on trips, she asks us to babysit. And as much as I would like to babysit them at our place, we have 2 cats indoors, so that would be a big no because they'll be too tempted to eat them. So because we don't have any cats in the house in Wahiawa, I have my parents watch them. My mom especially, she's the one that takes care of them. And so, let me see, yeah. So my mom is the one that usually takes care of them. And my dad, we love the birds, but my dad is not too fond of the birds because of the dust that they make. And so, while she was on the trip, my dad decided to take the bird cage out into the garage and hang them. And as much as I've been telling my parents, do not, in any circumstance, take the bird cage outside, my dad decided to do that when my mom happened to go to Honolulu Church for Ore Mairi and I was at work. And guess what happened? Auntie Cat, the big chubby one, she decided to go on the shelf and hop, lunge at the cage. The bird cage fell down, opened up, and one of them escaped. And this happened about 6 p.m. on the 22nd, and I came back at about 8 o'clock. And my mom called me because she knew I'll be home about 8 o'clock, and she says, Kako-chan, daijiken ga okita. A big incident happened. I was like, what happened? And she was like, Oto-san took the bird cage out, cat lunged on it, fell down, and one of the birds escaped. And I was like, it felt like my brain short-circuited. I was like, what? Of all the times I told Oto-san never to put the cage outside, he decides to put the cage outside. I think, how? What am I going to explain to her? How am I going to explain this to her? This is absurd, beyond stupid. I don't know what to do. And, well, that's exactly how they felt too. They didn't know what to do because it was exactly what happened. And it's exactly like how I told them, do not put the cage outside because one of them could escape or they could both escape. And that's exactly what happened. So it's like my adrenaline was like flowing out like well water, you know. the anger, the sadness, the I don't know. I couldn't think, and I was calculating the time. I was like, oh, it's probably about close to midnight where my friend is at in the mainland right now. If I told her the news right now, she's gonna get all pissed off too, and she probably can't sleep. So I probably can't think of any intelligible text to her. So I think, you know what, I'm just gonna sleep on this. I'm gonna sleep very angry. But of course, I prayed in front of the altar. I said, "Kansama, you know, kokodashi, this is what happened," and I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to say to her. And oh, by the way, when I was talking on the phone with my mom, she's the one that called me about this. I was like, wait, but Otosan's the one that released him. Why isn't she the one calling me apologizing? I was like, put Otosan on the phone right now. I want to speak to him. And oh man, I was in a rage like a Gretzko. You know what a Gretzko is, but I was pissed. And yes, I do get pissed, even if I'm a minister, it doesn't matter. Because I was really mad. And I was like, you can't say sorry, Otosan. You better write an apology letter. And he's like, "What the dust?" I said, "I don't care about that dust. You let them out, and this is what happened, and you better write an apology letter to my friend." And he said, okay, I will. So, you know, my dad, he has trouble apologizing because he's a typical, like, Kyushu otoko, and he's a Japanese man. They don't like to apologize. They don't like to live up to their mistakes. And this was a really big lesson for him. I said, you know what? You clearly, you know, messed up. You gotta admit it. You gotta apologize. And apology is like one of the most healing things to do in these kinds of situations. You cannot be like giving no excuses. You gotta say, I'm sorry, man. I did this when I was told not to do this, and I'm so sorry. You gotta do that. It's the only way we can heal, actually. And so the next day, I had to go to Wahiawa to see the situation first before I texted her. And I did, and I finally texted my friend in the morning, and this is what happened. And it took a while for her to answer. I'm assuming she was really angry too, and I don't blame her. I'll be angry too. And, you know, she was really upset that my parents didn't call her. And I'll be upset too. But my parents didn't have her phone number, and they didn't think to ask me for her phone number to call her. And again, they were both in a state of shock and embarrassment, so they just didn't know what to do either. So they thought I should tell her, and it's like this all kind of thing. It was like a messed up situation, to tell you the truth. And I prayed before Kami-sama. I prayed Kami-sama before texting her. I texted her right here, actually. I prayed to Kami-sama first, right here, and I texted her about the situation, and she answered. And then she was like, "Oh, what if you try to get another cage, put the bird that's still here into that temporary cage, and put the older cage outside, because the smells are there, the food is there, and maybe he'll remember that it's a safe home to return back." Because I guess that's what you can do when your bird escapes. You could put the cage outside, and then hopefully the bird will decide to fly back in. And when I put the cage outside, indeed the bird was outside, the one that escaped, and he was just chirping around. I was like, get in the cage, come on, get in the cage. But of course, why would he? He experienced freedom already. He experienced how big the world is. Why would he want to go back into his cage? But I was praying, like for several hours, I had the trap outside, and I had a little clip to the door. And so if I ever see the bird go into the cage, I'm going to pull it. And then the door would just shut down like a guillotine. And I was hoping, praying that the bird would get back in the cage. And I was waiting several hours. Really, I was by the window. I was doing some work, I was eating, and I was looking at the cage, eating, looking at the cage, doing some things, looking at the cage. And for several hours I was doing it. I was just so paranoid and hoping that the bird would go inside. Sadly, unfortunately, the bird didn't go inside. And then a couple of days later, my friend came back from the mainland, and she said, "I'm going to go to Wahiawa to check out the bird." And she came by, and it's so amazing because she's the mommy. She is the one that saved the two birds' lives. They love her. The birds love her, absolutely. And so when I had her come inside the church to look at the bird that was still there, oh, the bird was like, "Beep, beep, 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 it's mommy, mommy, you're back. This is what happened, this is what happened." And then the other bird escaped, kind of, you kind of tell that she'll say that. So funny. And there's this amazing connection with the bird. And then I put several of the cats in the bathroom. And then I put the cage with the bird still there outside. I placed them outside. And within minutes, the bird that escaped flew by and was like, beep, 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 beep. And like, my friend is like right there. And she was like, "Oh my God, that's him, that's him." Like, "Yeah, that's him. Like, come on, go, get in the cage." But, of course, he won't go in the cage. And after, it was almost like the bird was communicating to mommy. Like, "Hey, mommy, look, I'm okay. I'm doing good. Don't worry. I'm good." And then he flew away again. And she stayed there for several more minutes. Several more minutes later, he brought 4 other friends. 5 mejiro came by in like this flock and like, beep, 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 beep. And it was like the most amazing, like, what the heck kind of moment. For both of us, we were like, "Oh my God." She was like, there's five. And I was like, "Oh my God." I was staying a little bit further away because I didn't want to scare the birds off. Because that's mommy, and the birds know mommy the best. So I wanted to stay a little bit further away, but I could see like a whole bunch of birds just flying by and just going to beep, 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 beep. They're just communicating with each other. And I don't know what they're saying, but it was almost like, this is my interpretation, maybe wrong, but it was almost like they're saying, "What are you doing in that cage? Come play with us. You're going to be fine." And that gave a lot of reassurance to the both of us, actually. And it gave a reassurance to my friend, who was distraught, that, oh wow, the bird that escaped, he's doing good. He's doing really good. So now she's deciding, should I let this one go? Or should I hold on to him? And she's still in the thinking process. And it's going to take a while. Because she's totally attached to them. And I would be too, because she took really good care of them and she loved them like her own child. So it's going to take some time for her to make her final decision. I don't have the answer yet. It'll come into her heart. But, I'm assuming that she came in feeling really sad and distraught. But she left feeling a little bit lighter-hearted. Because at the moment she was leaving, the moment she was trying to get into her car, the other bird came flying right above her head again, like, beep, beep, beep. Just landed on one of the trees over there and watched her go home. It was the most magical thing ever. So it was like, wow, Kami-sama works in mysterious and wondrous ways. And in these times that they may seem so challenging and like difficult, and just your emotions just override your thoughts of gratitude and even praying to Kami-sama. If you remember to pray to Kami-sama, even in these trying times, Kami-sama is going to surely answer you, and the right answer will come to your heart. So this was a really good learning moment for us. So I don't know what's going to happen, but this morning too, the bird was flying outside, and the bird that's still in the house was chirping and communicating with the bird that was outside, and it's continuing to say, "Hey, I'm okay. So, it's really an unfortunate situation that happened. But even in this unfortunate incident, Kami-sama showed his blessings. So, just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was very special. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you for your attention to service. In mention, if so, it's more fearful than the actual instant of harm reaction, anger. Actually, today, as with both my wife and I celebrate 48th anniversary of our mission here. So, actually, we arrived at the Wahiawa church one day before. It's actually one day. And as I see mentioned, the first thing I did, turn on the light and proceed to this place. They said, thank you for the given opportunity. And from that day on, I try to be thankful for any day, each and every day, in gratitude. And I think I never think, oh, why should I be here? I've never said that. And my wife also supported. I never experienced, I want to go back. She never said. So. Before we come over here, at my church, some related minister, very senior minister, just talked to me. "Moya baka ka?" He said, "Are you stupid? Are you insane? Are you out of mind?" Or something like that. You're not ordinary person. "Baka deshiwa," I responded to him. Sunao age. I'm sure how to interpret sunao so many ways. But accept the situation. So I just said, maybe I could be Bagatari. But Bagatari could be applied to anybody else, I believe. Everybody could enjoy and encounter any situation. But they rejected. They tried to avoid. But when I look at the people around us, I think, oh, this could be the situation of Bangladesh. Some people may, how should I say, encounter difficult conditions. Actually, some of my relatives made a remark. Maybe they'll be back within 1 year. So they are thinking, oh, they could be Bakatari. Kawaii some sense they say. But my parents never expressed that kind of negative reaction. They celebrate our mission over here. They are so proud of our mission. So it depends on how to look at the situation. And I simply accepted this given situation. Actually, I could find out how many people, how many believers over here, what will be the situation now, financial situation. But I never try to find out any of those elements. I just try to believe in Tenchi, I believe rely on Kami-sama. So I didn't care. And ministers in those days, ministers are not supposed to get any engagement with money making job activity. So I've never thought, oh, I should get some kind of job after I go over here to make living possible. But I did not. The one occasion, when opportunity, occasion, I placed one pumpkin harvest between the border of the next door. In some more Mickey and arose. But when I finished the service day, I thought I could have helped this service. So I tried to say thank you to Kami-sama. And from that day on, I tried to say visit Konko church as a gesture of thanking to Kami-sama, because Konko church is the parent church of our church. So from not right after we came over here, but several months after the occasion, I tried to visit Wondrous. And after every church service we have. So 3 times monthly service. And when Kiki Sensei was online, they have the evening service. So we try to visit. So every month we try to visit 4 Honor church. And we try to accompany our children to our visit to Honor church till they graduate from high school. So this is the kind of my mentality. Are you sure it? Are you bagat? Some people, ordinary people, oh, that's too much. When you say out in the ordinary. But this is the way how so this could be the way how we can say thank you. I'm not sure if this was right or not. This was my decision. I also make some monthly Otolagi to Honor church and not Amagi church and go home. But in at the beginning stage of the over here, oh, I from Kawanish church, I should say thank you for coming. No, I'm Kawanish church. But Sensei at the Kawanish Hosaka did not respond to me because he believed that I am given to Amagi church. So I stopped to make any monthly auto like the college. But I've been keeping this all those 48 years. And that could be the reason I could be able to, I should be able to engage in my mission role. Maybe, I'm not sure, 50 years, maybe could be my time going to retire, semi-retire, or could change the operation of the church. But my thing, Konko-sama, the founder, said, become henji, means a stranger. In the Kyoto, that's just a strange, henji. Shinjin wa, henji narana to shinjin narana, shinjin ga dekin. Henjin, out of ordinary, not ordinary, not ordinary, because stranger. Not stranger, some of stranger, not stranger. May different from other people, from ordinary people. we accept whatever other people think of me, think of us. We just live the way how I should live to this thing.
Sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within. Hearts grateful and caring in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day. Pray. Gulkay.
Page 74. Number 35.
Number 35. Kayang.
74, number 35. Okay. Konko boy, number 35. Practice faith wholeheartedly. Then your child birth will be so easy that those living in the next room won't even notice.
36. You know, Kondo-san, if you practice faith wholeheartedly, even your most distant cousins will receive divine blessings.
37. Kondo-san, I see you have given broad teachings by telling people to cure their illnesses using soil. Well, let me give you another broad teaching from Kami. If soil or water can cure illnesses, it means people are walking on medicine. Seawater is salty, but salty or fresh water is water.
38. They say you can't defeat sickness and those above you. By praying to Kami single-heartedly, you cannot defeat those above you, but you can defeat your sickness. Lie in bed for a rest, not for sickness.
39. Kami can quickly cure an illness caused externally, but not one caused by the heart. Don't get an illness due to a worried and distressed heart.
40. Don't think that because you practice faith, you will never fall ill. Even the sun and the moon have abnormalities of eclipses. It's only natural. People may practice faith, but their bodies are only human. Accept the fact that you are subject to illness and think that you won't die from it.
41. Foods you favor are like medicine, while foods you disfavor are like poison. When you fall ill, you take displeasing medicines and eat a little of your favorite food to eliminate the aftertaste. Since you eat only a little of your favorite food, the curing of your illness takes time.
42. There are people who complain about their chronic illnesses. However, Kami found sickness when he created a person. People stay sick because they are fond